Welcome to tutorial Y, Yearning for Yesterday, our second last tutorial, really about nostalgia. Still more proverbs and idioms, but also two little bits of poetry about nostalgia. The first one's just extract from a very long poem, but it's really nice. Fern Hill. Just two extracts from Fern Hill, thinking back to his childhood on the farm. And as I was green and carefree, famous among the barns, about the happy yard, and singing as the farm was home, in the sun that is young once only, time let me play, and be golden in the mercy of his means. And green and golden I was huntsman and herdsman. The calves sang to my horn, the foxes on the hills barked clear and cold, and the Sabbath rang slowly in the pebbles of the holy streams. From further on in the same poem, all the sun long it was running, it was lovely, the hay fields high as the house, the tunes from the chimneys. It was air and playing, lovely and watery, and fire green as grass, and nightly under the simple stars, as I rode to sleep, the owls were bearing the farm away. All the moon long I heard, blessed among stables, the night jars flying with the ricks, and the horses flashing into the dark. I love this bit about as I rode to sleep. The owls were bearing the farm away, like the owls were flying away carrying the farm. And then one more short little bit of poetry about being 6 years old, well, 1 until 6, by A. Milne, the author of Winnie the Pooh. When I was 1, I had just begun. When I was 2, I was nearly new. When I was 3, I was hardly me. When I was 4, I was not much more. When I was 5, I was just alive. But now I'm 6. I'm as clever, so I think I'll be 6 now, forever and ever. That's our bit of nostalgia. Some writing topics later on nostalgic themes. One of our last times doing proverbs and idioms. Every day, everyone has their own little successful day. Every dog has his day. Leave the status quo alone. Leave it alone. Let sleeping dogs lie. I know we've done this one before. Too many cooks do what? Spoil the broth. Don't let too many people be involved in making something. A drowning man will clutch at a what? If you're that desperate, you'll clutch at the smallest thing, in this case a straw. We've done this one several times. Don't put all your eggs into one basket. Where there's a what, there's a what. Where there's a will, there's a way. Of course, the joke goes where there's a will, there's a relative. But in other words, in this case, if you want to do something, you'll find a way to do it. From a bad situation into a worse situation. Out of the frying pan and into the fire. We've done that one before. But I don't think we've come across this one. More haste, less what? More haste, less speed. In other words, yeah, work quickly, but don't work so quickly that you mess things up. Then we've got, I think, 2 pages of these, the difference between. Boy and boy, which one's a male child? Is that one. This boy, of course, is something floating in the sea. Tale and tale, which one's a story? T-A-L-E is the story. That's what we've got, what a dog wags. Sail and sail, which one do you find on a boat? That's the sail of a boat, but low cost in a store. It's that sail. Pale and pale, which one's a bucket? That one's a bucket. This means not red or not dark in complexion, but pale in complexion. Which one do you use to open a door? That key. This key also is a place that a boat leaves from. Peace and peace. Which one's the opposite of war? That one is. This means a part of something. Which one means to take something that's given to you? I accept it. but everyone's coming to my party except you. So commonly mixed up, these two. A loose screw, the first one, but don't lose your wallet. Loose and lose. That affected me, but it had a tremendous effect on me. Verb, noun. Your crying has a terrible effect. Has a terrible effect on me. It affects me. Which one stops a car? The first one. It's even got KAR backwards if you mix them up. But take a break and come and have some tea is the second one. A race course is the first one. What's the second one? The opposite of smooth and refined. Coarse salt is hard. Some beach sand is coarse. One more page of these. Which one means the main? The principal of the school, the main teacher. That's my principal objection, my main objection. But a principle means something that I use to govern my life. I have certain principles that I will not compromise on. Which one means an absence of noise? Quiet, with that U-I-E. This is quite. I'm not quite happy. This one I had to check, is this in American and British English? And apparently it is. So commonly mixed up. Stationary and stationary. The way I remember it is the one with the E is the same as the E in pen. So stationary is pens and pencils and paper, but stationary means unmoving. The stationary bus has been there all morning. Stationary pens and pencils. There, and there. That's short for they are. This is over there, and that's belonging to them. Their house is over there, and they are standing outside their house. Which one is angel and which is angle? The second one is angle. The first one is angel. Which one is the number 2? The third one is the number 2. The first one is I'm going to town. And the second one is you are coming too. So the second one is also. That's a straight preposition from here to there. And that's the number. Waist and waist. The part of your body you want to keep slim and trim is your waist. But don't waste money. Don't waste food. Which one is thunder and lightning and sunshine and rain? Is the weather forecast, as a meteorologist predicts it. But I asked her whether she would be coming. That's weather with an H. Correct the sentences. Mrs. Bilby saw termites fixing her roof. It sounds like the termites were fixing her roof. So I think what we have to do is move the second part of the sentence. Won't let me take it away. I'll just have to delete it. Fixing her roof. Mrs. Bilby saw the termites fixing her roof. Comma. Mrs. Bilby. I hope I'm getting her name the same. Mrs. Bilby saw the termites. Mark saw several birds driving to the river. It sounds like the birds were driving to the river. So we've got to move this. Mark saw several birds and say driving to the river, comma. Mark saw several birds. I met a woman on the boat with a false leg. Sounds like the boat has a false leg, so we've got to move with a false leg. I met a woman with a false leg on the boat. We bought the dog from a neighbor who's good at herding sheep. It sounds like the neighbor, and if you like, let's make it American spelling and leave out the U. It sounds like the neighbor is good at herding sheep. So let's add that in here. I bought the dog who's good at herding sheep from a neighbor, and then we can cross out all of this. Hanging in my uncle's bedroom, I found a painting of a horse. It sounds like I was hanging in my uncle's bedroom. So we've got to take that out and have the painting hanging in my uncle's bedroom. We could put it there, but then it almost sounds like the horse is hanging in the... I found a painting in my uncle's bedroom. Still don't like it. I want to say I found a painting of a horse in my uncle's bedroom. Okay, let's just go with that. In my uncle's bedroom. Otherwise, it just sounds funny also. So I found a painting of a horse in my uncle's bedroom. Pippi is South Africa's most unique dog. They say that being unique is like being pregnant. You're not more or most. So we just change it to Pippi is South America's unique dog. And I think that's that. Almost our last writing comment. Last time we spoke of proofreading. Today we're formatting. Make sure that your format is correct. Align the text properly. Avoid ragged edges. Make your document easy and enjoyable to read. Topics for writing: a memorable summer, cherished objects, old letters or diaries, sounds of the past, my mother's kitchen, the danger of living in the past, my childhood, or this picture. One more time: a memorable summer, cherished objects, old letters or diaries, sounds of the past, my mother's kitchen, the danger of living in the past, my childhood, or the picture. Quick little vocabulary quiz. Tolerant, not strict. Lenient. Ordinary, lacking excitement, starting with MUN. Mundane. Beginner, someone who's new at something. He or she is a novice. Not transparent, hard to understand. I don't really like hard to understand. So I'm just going to say not transparent is opaque. And that's our tutorial. Only one to go. Tutorial Z, zoological. I want to call it zanily zoological. It's not so terribly zany though, so maybe I'm going to just leave it at that. Zoological. I hope you'll come back for our very last tutorial, and I really appreciate having you here, and I look forward to having your company once again next time. Until then, goodbye.